What's up, guys? I've been wanting to make this video on high intensity training for a while now because I've been having a ton of success. And as a personal trainer and as just a person in general, I really enjoy seeing others succeed. And I want people to get to their goals the most efficient way possible. And I've been doing this myself to prove to myself and to everyone else that this kind of training actually works. So I was a powerlifter a long time ago, and I haven't really lifted weights up until last year. I wanted to try bodybuilding this time around because I believe that it is safer to execute, and I'm not necessarily interested in being the strongest in the gym anymore. So I just wanted to find something that would be easy to stick to, and I also admire bodybuilding physiques a ton. So, with that being said, like many other people, I was on a high volume program of bodybuilding. I was doing 3 to 0 RIR programs with 1 week breaks after 6 to 8 weeks. I noticed that almost every time that I got to my 0 reps and reserve weeks, I was either barely beating my PR or not at all, and it was very frustrating. I recalled when I was a power lifter and I would only train 3 times per week, and I saw great results in my strength and my physique. I eventually learned about Mike Mentzer's high intensity program. So, like most people, I believe that the high intensity program was kind of too good to be true when it comes to hypertrophy training. So, I wanted to try this out myself. I wanted to see if I could get bigger and stronger without making strength my priority with this program. Because for those that don't know, high intensity program, the Mike Mentzer way, is basically you're doing one set to failure. And that does not mean that you are only going in there to do one singular set. You're doing every exercise, that one set you do for it, the one working set is to failure. So, for example, if I go to the gym and I do the leg press, I am going in there to do a couple warm ups leading up to my working weight. And then that last set is to failure. The way that I found that this differentiates from basically like high volume, like, yes, you are doing a couple of sets building up to that exercise, to that working set, but those sets before are not like you're pushing yourself to the point where you can't anymore. You're just basically getting blood flowing. You're getting the muscle to respond. You're trying to see how your body feels. And then you eventually get to that last set and you go until you can't anymore. You're working up to that working set. You're pushing that set to failure. Yeah, that's pretty much the way it works. So, for example, something that you would want to do, something that I do, I should say. Today I did arms and I was doing side delts. So, I got 7.5 on the cables and I did 8. I could have gone a lot more, but I felt like 8 was good. Like, I felt the blood flowing, I felt warm. I felt like if I did more, that would be excessive, and I did not need to do that. And then I got to the next weight, which I'm forgetting what the middle weight is for some reason. Maybe 12.5? Probably is. So I got 12.5, and instead of doing 8, again, I just went for like 4 or something like that. I just went like half because I already felt like my muscle was good. And the only reason I went to 12.5 was to feel the weight. I want my joints and my muscles to feel ready for what's to come. So I'm also doing the lower weight so that I have enough energy to do the heavy ass weight that I'm going to do. So, on to my training so far. I've been doing high intensity for, I want to say, 3 or 4 months now. I should have been logging it manually, but I wasn't. I had the RP hypertrophy app, which is great, but I'm not gonna go into that now. But basically, I don't have it anymore, and I started logging it on the notepad on my iPhone. So I have pretty much late November, like November, like the last day of November, or something like that, up until now. I want to point out that I have not taken a break. I haven't taken a week off like I was before on high volume. I have not done any of that. I've been doing pretty much everything I've read in one of Mike Mentzer's books. I've also been following, I think his name is John Hart. I could be wrong on his name, but he has been a tremendous help in understanding what it is that really needs to be done and how to do it. I'll definitely put his name down below, or I'll put it somewhere here to give him credit because he's fantastic. So yeah, I've been doing this basically nonstop for months now, and I have not felt at any point depleted, weak, nothing. Every single week that I do this, I always get in my head like maybe this will be the week that I start to decline or something like that, and that has never been the case. I've never not been able to beat my previous week's record by at least one. So yeah, every single time that the muscle group comes back up, I get at least one more. I've surprised myself of getting 3 to 4 more. It's absolutely crazy, these results. And at the end of the day, like the real measure to see how well you're actually doing is to beat the logbook every single week, making gains. I promise, every single week. I've been very shocked, honestly. It's not necessarily that I didn't believe this worked, it's more so that everyone and their mother is probably doing high volume because that's what we've been told to do for our bodies. Like, the more you do, the better it is. And that is true to a degree. Like, for certain things in life, the more you put into something, the more you get out of it. But what's also important is the rest in between. If you are not resting in between, if you're not getting sufficient rest, you're not going to grow at that thing. You have to let like your mind recover. If you're playing guitar, you have to let your fingers recover. Your central nervous system is a humongous part when it comes to weightlifting. So if you're not letting those things recover by going to the gym every single day, even if it's just to do low volume pump nonsense, you're not letting your body recover. Even though you feel like it's lightweight, and it probably is lightweight, I've done the same thing myself. You are not letting your body recover enough. And I'm wholeheartedly a believer now in this style of training. Um, Another huge reason why I think that people should get on this program is if you have responsibilities or you have other ambitions. So, like everyone else, like who's in the gym, I care about my physique. It is very important to me, especially as a personal trainer. I want to look the part, but I also have other things in my life that I want to do, like learning new skills, learning new hobbies, spending time with friends, spending time with family, things like that is very important to me too. And I used to spend easily anywhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours at the gym just doing high volume stuff. I was like, I have to do 3 sets of everything at least. And I have to go from one bicep exercise to the other. And here's my cat. Yeah, it consumed a lot of my time. And that's just at the gym. I live in New York City, so I have to walk to my gym. Not, I'm not saying that's a burden by any means, but I walk to my gym. For someone else, it could be driving, and they could also be driving the same distance. Either way, time comes into this, and there's that travel distance to and from. Then you still got to come home and shower. You still got to eat. You still got to meal prep. You still got to do other things in your life. I'm assuming you have other things you have to handle in your life. Even for me, editing this video, it took so long because I just wanted to do other things with my time. So, a ton from Mike Mentzer's book and the trainer John Hart as well, like I mentioned. When I find this actual name and YouTube, I'll link it down below or somewhere here. Highly recommend it. You're literally training once every 4 days, and I cannot recommend it enough to someone who has other things they want to do. So yeah, I'm sure that I missed a few things that I want to talk about. It's my first time doing it this style, so yeah, I'll probably drop some more videos, probably as shorts or just like a quick little rant. I'll write down what I actually want to say and talk about it more in the future. I hope that this helped you in any way, maybe help you decide if high intensity is for you. Hopefully, these reasons make sense for everyone. And I'm more than happy to keep talking about it later, and I probably will. So, yeah, catch you guys in the future.